Wizards of the Coast, you just got lucky. Like any fading career, hoping for a massive hit to bring resurgence, yeah, Wizards of the Coast needed it, and it looks like they got lucky with Phyrexia. All will be one. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me today on the video. Kind of crazy, right? Like, Wizards all through 2018, 2019, they were having hit after hit, right? All the way up and through Ikoria, we were pretty much like, this was amazing. We got Godzilla cards. And then things kind of went off the rails a bit. Things went a little bit to the left. The hype train seemed to be gaining speed. And people had a harder time getting a ticket and holding on to the train. And eventually things went off the rails. Things went wrong with the 30th anniversary. And Wizards has been in the doghouse ever since. But now, it looks like they have a get out of jail free card. They got the do not pass go. And we got by somehow. We let them go by. We gave them the get out of jail free, and they've given us Phyrexia, all will be one. And let me tell you, today's video, the sales are off the charts on the Hot 10. This stuff is crazy today. We've got to explore what is going on with some of these cards. This is the pre-release weekend. Usually the sales of Dominaria United would still be carrying through, but there is such a mishmash of craziness this week that we've got to just go in and talk about all these cards and look about what's going on. Because when you're counting down the Hot 10, this is just the most volume of sales I can track, but because of the sheer volume, and I had to stop counting. I had two friends helping me out. This got kind of crazy, so let's break this down. Let's take a look at this video. We're going to start out at number 10. We're going to end at number 1 because this is your Hot 10, and this is what you've been waiting for all week. So we're starting out at number 10 with Cankerbloom, 512 sales. Market price is like 25 cents US. This is a very inexpensive card, but it just shows the route Wizards of the Coast is taking. When you look at this card from Phyrexia, all will be one. It's a 1 green, 1 generic for a 3/2 creature, which back in the day would have been epic. Nowadays, it's kind of like that middle-of-the-road creature, but it's that secondary ability. And remember, this is a fungus. Always remember those subtypes of a creature. Phyrexian fungus. Now, Cankerbloom can, 1, sacrifice Cankerbloom and choose 1. You can destroy a target artifact. You can take out an enchantment. But you know what? If you have a wall of Planeswalkers in a Super Friends deck, you get to proliferate with this card. You have options at any stage in your gameplay to make this card work for you. It lets you micromanage the situation, pick the target to go after, which is why I think next week the sales on this card are going to triple what they're at right now. I can see it happening. It's a very inexpensive, great utilitarian card to have around. Now, number 9, Skrelev's Hive, 729 sales. And remember, a card like this, which is like a market price of what? Less than $4 US. Here in Canada, it's around $7. But when you take a look at the card, that 1 white, again, 1 generic, a 2 casting cost enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and you create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block, and it has the corrupted effect at the bottom. But I'm looking at saying, look at all the other things that can pump this creature up. Look at all the other ways you can use this card. Other enchantments that can work along with this deck. Enchantment Tribal is getting stronger and stronger. The ability to put this out there, not even have creatures in your deck. Just using things like this, where in a commander deck, getting life is not a big deal. So losing a life every turn is next to nothing. Now, number 8, Mystic Remora. But what I found interesting is it's the Ice Age edition that is selling. Now, this card is still only averaging $6.44 on the market. It's around $7.29 is the average here in Canada, around $8. But when we take a look at this card, remember, cards like this with that cumulative upkeep used to really freak people out. Nowadays, nah, you can make this thing work for you and make it work well. And because it's finally being reprinted, you're seeing the price drop. Very manageable levels. Great card to have around. Anybody using blue in some kind of control deck is going to have a card like that flowing for them. Now, number 7, this is where the numbers start to get a little wacky-macky. We're going to have some good times here. Ellish Norn, Mother of the Machines, Phyrexia, all will be one. And this is just the base level one you get in a pack, right? This is one of the fancier versions. You can look at my box opening videos. I put those up from 401 Games. Those are sweet. I hope you guys watch those videos. There'll be one up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thanks again to 401 Games. Now, 1,103 sales, guys. That's a lot for a card at this level, at this price. And the price is dropping and should continue to drop because of all the variants. But as I'm watching box opening videos, this card is not as easy to get as people think. A few boxes go by at a time before you even see one, so keep that in mind. If this is a card you need, you might want to buy the pre-release pricing and just get it out of the way, because this kind of card at this power level and the fact they haven't banned it right off the bat means it's going to be sought after, it's going to be played with, and if you want to experiment with it, better to get one now than get it later. I mean, for a few extra bucks of waiting, in this case, I might just go that route myself. Let's go ahead, though, and take a look at number 6 this week. Tyvar's Stand, again, Phyrexia, 1,483 sales, less than 50 cents, guys. It's an uncommon. But why are cards like this selling? It's because of what they do. Look at that one green. Same as the Fungus guy, same as the Skrelev's Hive. These are one casting cost in uncommons. Right? They're enchantments, they're instants, they're effects, but they can be splashed into these 5-color Joda Unifier decks. Other commander decks can make play with these, man. Target creature gets +X/+X and gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. What are we talking about? As an instant, just to throw this out there, what a disgustingly powerful card. A game-ending card when you can add trample and other things onto it. I mean, I can understand for the price why people are seeking this card out. Now, here we go back to Dominaria Remastered. And I'm not surprised. We got Nature's Lore, 1,526 sales. And this card, of course, is dirt cheap as well, guys. You're talking less than $1 now in the market. The average is $1. Foil's $1.64 US. Here in Canada, it's $2. A very, very useful card at a very inexpensive price. You can see there, search your library for a forest card, put that card onto the battlefield, and then shuffle your library back up. A little deck thinning is always a good card to have. And there's ways of getting those sorceries back nowadays. Another thing to keep in mind. Now, number 4 this week. Haywire Might came right back onto the radar. I'm not sure why it showed up so strong this week, but it went from off the list last week all the way to number 4. Okay? 1,649 sales. Market price is $2.26 US. A foil is going to run you $4.15 US. It's around $2.50 here in Canada. And again, as an uncommon, this thing's a very powerful card. You start mixing this in with other stuff, and you don't have to have these single cards to deal with it. Look what it says. Sacrifice the Haywire Might, exile target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. This thing costs 1, and when it dies, it gains 2 life. Guys, it's 1. It has 3 effects it can use. Disgustingly powerful. I love that card. I love using that card. But number 3, Glissa Sunslayer, 3,229 sales. Let me say again, 3,129 sales. I said 200 the first one. I was mixing my 2 and 1. That's what you get for being dyslexic. 3,129 sales. Guys, this is number 3. Can you see where we're going with this? The numbers get really cool. This is the strongest sales we've had in months because of that 30th anniversary, because of the inflation, the markets, the craziness, but look where we're at. Market price is $1.19, but again, look at it. It's a rare card that's super cheap. This thing is a 3 casting cost, 1 green, 1 black, 1 other. We got a first strike death touch, and when it deals combat damage, you get to choose 1. Draw a card, lose a life, destroy target enchantment, remove up to 3 counters from a target permanent. That's going to keep the Planeswalkers in check. Want to keep those Planeswalkers down? This is the card. It's going to take away the nachos and cheese from your super friends. That's what it's going to do. She's not very nice, I get it, but she's going to get the job done. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to number 2 here, guys. Let's look what we're talking about here. The Conduit of Worlds. I know you probably didn't expect this one to be here, did you? Market price, $3.64 US. A foil is $5.90. It's around $7 here in Canada. But let's take a look at what this card does. This is 2 green, 2 other. Remember the World Tree? This is what's left of it. All right, you may play lands from your graveyard. It said lands, not basic land. It said lands. Think of the disgustingly powerful lands that can be replayed in every format. Wow. All right. Tap. Choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells activate as a sorcery. I want you to think about this. Every time somebody counters that spell, you could just try again next turn. You can keep card advantage and just keep going after cards that they had to deal with already. Guys, you better have some graveyard removal. This is gonna be just nuts as far as I'm concerned. I can't wait to see how this thing plays. Now, let's go to number 1. What do you guys think it is? Take a second at home, pause my video, write it down on paper. Treat yourself, write it down. All right, here we go. Here we go. That's right. Sheoldred's Edict. 6,293 sales, and I stopped counting. I stopped. And by the way, a lot of stores were already sold out and had wish lists on this card. There was wish lists for people trying to get it. The store was sold out. The store was sold out. The store was sold out. Want me to rinse and repeat? The store was sold out. 6,293 sales, guys. Market price is $1.68. The card's going down in price, but for some reason, I wonder why. Well, let's take a closer look here before we end off the video. The Edict is an instant. It's one black, one other, and you can choose one. Each opponent, oh, does that scream Commander? It screams Commander! Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Each opponent sacrifices I'm just joking. A creature token. Get it? A creature token. And then each opponent sacrifices a planeswalker. Depending on what your opponents have against you, depending on what you're playing, you're going to make specific choices with a card like this. It is crazy town. And it's an instant. And it's an uncommon. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. But Phyrexia All Will Be One is a hit already. It's already going to do well. I mean, pre-release way is going to be, guys, crazy. I gave up counting. I was exhausted. I had to call some friends in to start going over the numbers with me. Oh, this is nuts, guys. I can't wait to see next week when I get the full flush of stuff coming in. This is going to be nuts. But this was your Hot 10 this week. This was it. What do you think about that? Do you think Wizards just got lucky on a set like this? They just happened to get lucky, and now they get to take that forward and say, hey, we did a great set. Let's pat ourselves on the back? Because they better not think this is going to save them all the way. But they are lucky that this set is playing out as well with players as it is. Because they're in the doghouse with most people that I know. But the masses are what the masses will be, and they can't stay angry forever, and they want to get back to the real world and get playing the game they love. And it looks like they are diving in on Phyrexia. All will be one. And of course, that huge shout out to all my fantastic patrons. Guys, thanks for being here on the channel. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me each and every day, guys. This content's not possible without you. Thank you so much again, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Can Phyrexia All Will Be One keep it up? Can they keep these sales going even for a few weeks? Because that'll be enough to really turn things around. I'm curious to see what the stores are going to tell me next week. I'm curious to know what you guys are going to think. But thanks for being here at the end. Thanks for making it to the end credits. It means a lot, guys, because you're the ones who make it till the end. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for another video. Have an awesome day today. Phyrexia All Will Be One.